This was an interesting situation overseas, out of the UK. I guess this came out maybe the end of last week, over the weekend. It got real popular on social media. There was a UK woman on the phone. She was taking a video of her phone conversation with a doctor, and the doctor gave her some interesting statements, warnings about the COVID-19 vaccines. And there's been a lot of speculation, I think, online, and we can kind of talk about this a little bit. How is this a hoax video? Is this real? Was this a real doctor? What do you guys think about that before I play the video?
I mean, I think that we were talking about it yesterday. I think that my first reaction was, how do you know?
Yeah,
right.
Me too.
How do you know that this was a real doctor? Because what the doctor says is very controversial. So it could have just been somebody playing it up. But then when you know that the number registered to the hospital, you know, there's been research done to prove that it was real. But that was my first question. Now knowing that it is real, this conversation is very radical. And if it became major news, I think a lot of people around the world would be very upset knowing the answers that this doctor is giving this lady.
Yeah, so the number has been confirmed to belong to St. Richard's Hospital in Chichester, UK. And the patient in the video has been identified as Chelsea Harmon from Chichester, UK. So, I mean, this information is out there, so it can be looked up. You can research this.
Right. Yeah. But that was my first thought. You know, my first thought was,
me too.
Is it true? Because this is radical stuff. I mean, it's really...
Yeah. So you guys want me to go ahead and play the video, and then we'll just kind of break down what she says? Because some of it's a little bit hard to understand, but here's the video.
There wasn't enough information. And it's a lot more coming up now, and especially for young people whose immunity is intact, apparently that's enough. Okay.
So yeah, so just to make sure. So you think I shouldn't have any more vaccines then?
If you ask me, this would be my advice. But yeah.
Okay. And is that just because you don't think anyone should have a vaccine at a young age, or is that because medically I shouldn't have it because of my head?
Medically, I mean, there is very much, as I said to you, there is a lot of information coming up now which was not available earlier, and very soon all of the vaccines will be completely stopped.
Oh, okay.
This is information that is just really come up. You won't hear it on TV for a while, probably, because it's a long story. But yeah, so very soon we'll stop all of these vaccines. That people don't know, but they are not. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And should I be worried about my head at all? Just leave it?
No, I don't think so. No, I really don't think you should be worried about your head, no.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But any sweat, fever, pain, lumps that don't get better.
Yeah.
Yeah, or more to come up, or pain in the legs, or swelling. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And you probably, if you ask your GP might probably say, yes, get the vaccines, because, I mean, information does come, but it's very difficult when it's not available everywhere.
Okay.
Put it this way, okay?
Sorry, could I just ask you, so my sister's actually due to go and get her booster tomorrow. She's only 22, so should I say...
Please, no, absolutely not.
Okay.
That's not needed, please, no.
Okay. Okay. All right, I'll tell her. Thank you.
Okay.
So a doctor saying the vaccines are going to be stopped because of new information that you won't see on the TV, but we know what's really going on. And no, your sister who's 22 cannot go get. No, don't let her get the booster. Don't let her go. Pretty powerful stuff.
That part was probably the most creepy to me whenever she's like, well, hey, my sister's going to go tomorrow. What should I say? No. I mean, the doctor, before she could even stop talking, the doctor's like, no, please, no. Tell her no, not needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eesh.
It seemed like she picked her words very carefully in the beginning.
Yes. Yes.
Which, you know, I don't want to speak for her, but you could assume that she's probably like, should I say this right now? You know, like, I'm just going to go for it.
So the caller, the patient is assumably she's calling about like headaches or some sort of effect she's having for after taking probably her most recent booster, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So she's having some side effects. She calls the doctor, and I don't know what the beginning part of that conversation was like, but it was important enough for the caller to have somebody else who was there with her, maybe a spouse or whatever, start recording the conversation on another phone.
Right.
Which is interesting. So, you know, she says, okay, so just to make sure, you think I shouldn't have any more vaccines. And like you said, Nate, the doctor in the beginning is a little bit more choosy with her words. She says, you know, if you ask me, this would be my advice. Meaning, yes, to get no more vaccines, that would be my advice. Yeah.
She really hit on the head, like the young people too. Like if you're young, do not get them.
Yeah. Very soon, all of the vaccines will be completely stopped. There's a lot of information coming up now, which was not available earlier. You won't hear it on TV for a while. She is probably because it's a long story, but yeah. So
I want to be read in on the long story.
Yeah, that'd be nice, right? It's interesting because I got the transcript here. So she says, so very soon we'll stop all of these vaccines. People don't know, but they are not. And then it's ... Yeah. So yeah. Like she didn't finish that sentence. So like, was she going to say the vaccines are not safe? They're not effective? What was she going to say?
I want to know if this was a briefing that multiple doctors got, if this is insider information from this doctor, because if all the doctors across the board have this information and are being silent and withholding that, that's terrifying also.
It is. And it'll be interesting to see what comes of this, because we know locally here in America, here in our area, I've heard of doctors and nurses that have been told by management, do not say anything negative about the vaccines to your patients. Your license could be taken away.
That's interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never heard of anything like this. You know, for a doctor to be told or a nurse to be told, do not say to your patient that there could be negative side effects from the vaccines, that they could not work. At one point, they weren't even allowed to tell their patients that they could still get COVID.
Yeah.
If they got the vaccines, they could be in trouble.
It goes back to, I think Glenn Beck last week he had COVID, and he was talking about, he calls his doctor, and there was no way he could get ivermectin.
Correct.
And he goes on to say, like, you know, not like boasting, but he's Glenn Beck. He knows some people. Yeah. If he can't get it, there's no hope for the average American to get it.
Right. Because he knows big name doctors all across the country and things like that. And if he can't get it, how are you and I supposed to get it?
Yep. So if his doctor can't give him ivermectin, the same thing is going to happen with these doctors maybe having information that says, I do know these vaccines aren't safe, but I cannot say that.
Yeah.
It is crazy to see the narrative behind the narrative.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So was there anything else we want to talk about with that caller, that video? Like we said, we'll stay on this. If it turns out that somehow this was a very well done hoax or something, we'll let you guys know. We'll say we were wrong and everything. But I mean, from all the research that's already been done on this and by all the looks of it, this is real. This was a real phone call. This was real information kind of being given to a patient, though I don't think the doctor was, I don't think she wanted to say all of this, but I think she felt that she had to. Hey,
I think she cared for this patient enough to say what was really going on.
Right.
And that's what we need. We need doctors all around the country, all around the world that are saying what the patient needs, not what the government wants you to say.